Hey, welcome back to Key Breakthrough. I'm Drake, and this is my take on the Korg Nautilus. Now, I kind of feel like this keyboard is like the black sheep of all the keyboards out there. And I say that because people, they don't really desire the Nautilus as like they do all the other big ones, the Nord Stage, Electro, the Phantoms, the Montages, right? You don't really hear, I don't hear at least, many people talk about it. More people want and talk about the old Kronoses more than the Nautilus, right? And that's due to a few reasons. One being that Korg kind of confused us when they dropped the Nautilus, right? They said it was the next generation flagship, when clearly it was a stripped down version, almost a step down, if you will, from their last flagship. So, what is it about the Nautilus that people don't like? Well, having one here now, I can tell you straight up, it's the lack of controls, of physical controls, especially on the right side of the panel. If you thought the left side of the panel was bad, check out the right side. I mean, that's all you get. Nothing else is over here. There's no transport buttons for the sequencer. There's no, of course, no pads, nothing for effects. There's nothing, right? So, so far using this board, that's the biggest thing that pops out to me, is that, man, I wish I had more controls. Now, they give you the quick access buttons, which can be configured to access different things, but in digging in the menus, it's not that expansive. I figured for a keyboard so powerful, you'd be able to actually program these to do anything that you can think of, but no, actually, there's limitations to what these buttons can trigger, and that was a bummer, right? Now, I know that you can plug up controllers and sliders and have other things, such as the Korg Nano Key. I understand you can plug it up and work this, and I haven't done that yet, so I can't speak too deeply on it, but I can speak on you're going to have to buy some feet or something, because this is not stable. Even over here where you have more space, it's wobbly. So if you do use something like this, you will have to figure out how you're going to get it on there to be stable. Now, there's one more critique before I start talking about the good stuff. There's one more reason I think people kind of steer away from this board, and that's the screen. Now, the screen is smaller than the Kronos, but guess what? The screen is actually still big. This is a generous screen. So I'm not complaining about the size. Instead, the touch, it's not that great. Some of the features you have to do almost like a long press to open up menus, and that's not convenient. Some of the screens, the buttons are very small, and as you see, let me see if I can bring up one of those screens where the buttons are like really, let me see here. Set list, let's go into, let's say we get in a combination and we want to do a parameter change. Check out how small these boxes are, right? And some of these boxes, they work sometimes, and sometimes you literally have to do a long press. And so my complaint is the screen is, it's an older technology, touch view. It's an older touch view technology, I guess. But other than that, the complaints kind of stop there. The truth is the Korg Nautilus is still a beast. I mean, it's essentially everything the Kronos was inside. It's a Kronos, basically, without all of the buttons and sliders that you would like. So it's still a beast. The sounds are great. And some things, yes, are difficult because there's multiple screens. So there's a lot of menu diving to do certain things. But some of the basic things aren't that bad. For instance, I was able to make layers and splits pretty quickly. Once you get used to it, just like any keyboard manufacturer, they all have a different way of doing things. I remember the first time I got a Phantom, and I didn't know how to hook up an external keyboard to make it work. I had to look up videos. It wasn't self-explanatory at all. So And the Phantom is what probably considered the easiest to use out of all the workstations. But if you're new to it, you're going to have to, it's going to take some time. This isn't that bad, to tell you the truth. If you want to do layers and splits up to more than 2, then you're going to go to combination. There, you could do all your splits and layers. And then once you set up your splits and layers, if you want to put them into a more cohesive situation for performance, you would put them into set list. Now, let's go back. What is program about? Program is basically, it gives you one instrument at a time, one sound at a time. You could do a deep dive on that sound if you like. But the mode button is how you get to everything. And that's one of the buttons over here, of course. Page button is how you get to work different parameters with the sounds. So those 2 buttons right there is most of the keyboard, is most of how you get to the keyboard, those 2 buttons. So that's not too bad, right? So if you go back to mode, I want to, I could get to sampling. I could get to the global, which is all the big settings, how the keyboard works, whether you want the auto on and off feature cut on. It's how you do, all your things. You go back here, media, that's how you upload or download sounds. You can do a factory reset. Now, I will say it took 4 or 5 steps just to do a factory reset. Also 4 or 5 steps just to do an operating system update. So yes, some of the things are really menu divey for sure. Definitely. If we go back to mode, let's go to set list. I want to show you a couple of the sounds I put together, and let's talk about polyphony. So I'm building sets right now for church, right? So I was able to name this set church. And so this is one of the first patches I was able to make, right? And so basically it's a layer of piano, electric piano, pad, and string, right? Really nice sound, right? Now, when I get with the band, I'll see how it fits in the mix. I used to have a Kronos too, and I wasn't liking how that fit in the mix. But I do have to admit, I didn't try to do deep dives with the sound designing and EQing. I didn't really get that much chance. This one, I'm gonna give more of a chance. EQ is right here, so you can, when I play with the band, I'll be able to see, okay, if I need to boost anything, I can boost it, I can cut it. So, and then I could do a bypass, which is really useful to compare, okay, did that really do much or not? That's an awesome feature. Thank you for the bypass. So I made another sound. All right, piano, EP, pad, strings, and organ. Now, even though you don't have your sliders, you got the knobs. It's not too bad. So I got my organ sitting on 5. And let me see if I can pull up another screen here. Okay, there you go. So piano, EP, pad, strings, and my organ is the last, right? So let's see. Organ is on 5. Here we go, organ. Leslie on the mod wheel or stick, mod stick. So turn on the organ. All right, that's not bad. Yes, I prefer a slider or sliders, but that's that's okay actually. So I made several sounds. I made some splits in here too. Split bass. I made put some brass in there. All right, so the sound wise is not bad. Now let's talk polyphony real quick. Let's go back to one of the layers here. On this layer, I have 5 sounds. All right, so let's see what the polyphony does with 5 sounds. All right, let's cut each sound up so we can hear what's going on. And let me just hold out C major here. I'm stepping on the sustain pedal, and I'm gonna just ring it out. as you can hear, there's some dropout. I'll play it again. All right, not the worst thing. If you're playing a song, you know, you shouldn't have an issue. You know, no, it's okay. It's better than its competitors. You know, try to layer 5 sounds on the other keyboards and see what happens, right? So the polyphony is decent. Let's check out. Now, I did notice when you hit some of the sounds harder, you might get less polyphony. Let me try to see here what I can pull up. All right, so this is a layer, right? Except now I have piano, EP, synth, and brass and organ, right? Watch what happens when I hit things hard, right? So soft, hard. Oh, didn't do it that time. That time it did it. So the polyphony kind of suffers more when I dig in, and there's a meter on here that actually shows you polyphony use. Let's see if I can find that. I believe it's in combination, and there's a performance meter that actually shows you what's happening. That's cool. I mean, this thing is a computer after all, right? So that's really cool. But watch this. When you slam it hard, it hits the CPU harder and more notes drop out. So I don't know if the other keyboards do that or not. I don't remember the other keyboards doing that when you hit it harder, but that's one thing I did notice. But that's what 5 sounds layered. Do you really need 5 sounds layered? Some people do, some people don't. Most people who play with bands don't need that many sounds layered. But yeah, so even the Nautilus / Kronos has limitations. That's what I discovered so far. And so I'm going to be doing more with this keyboard. I have some gigs coming up, and yeah, I'm gonna keep documenting. Other than that, I can't complain. This is a robust build quality. It's on the heavy side. This is the 73 key. Just be prepared. You might want to put some wheels on your case or get a case that has wheels. Other than that, it's not bad at all for what it is. On the used market, it is the Maserati of keyboards, meaning that as soon as you buy it, the price depreciates very fast. So you can find these on the used market for about $1,400. Brand new, they cost $22. So you do the math there. Brand new 22, used market $1,400. And this keyboard is not that old to have that value depreciate that fast. But that's what happens right now with the Korg Nautilus. It's just it's the Maserati. It's the black sheep. Is it capable? It's a very capable keyboard. Very capable. Yeah, it can do the big heavy lifting. It can, but you just got to get around having less knobs per function and an older screen. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I have much more content coming. Thank you. I'll see you soon.